This is part 67 of my series on my N-gauge model railway project. Previous parts covered the project from its inception through the creation of the baseboard, selection and laying of track, building of scenic items, obtaining rolling stock, etc. The project is ongoing. This part deals with two more Union Mills locomotives that I obtained, a Prince of Wales class in LMS red and a T9 class Greyhound in southern olive green. This was my second order purchased directly from Union Mills on the Isle of Man, and I am again grateful to the commenter on one of my previous videos who let me know how to get in touch with Union Mills via telephone, as they don't have a web presence. I will put the phone number in the video description below. I am in Canada, and this order came to me from the UK by post, very well packed. It took exactly 3 weeks to make the journey. Each loco came in its own characteristic Union Mills box. There was plenty of additional packing to guard the locos against the shocks of transit. Here are the locos still in their boxes after being first unpacked. It's a little hard to read, but the name on the Prince of Wales class is Enchantress, which was built at Crewe in 1911 for the London and North Western Railway. This loco passed into LMS service at Amalgamation in 1923 and was renumbered from 1537 to 5604, and it was withdrawn in October 1934 as newer locos came into service. But first let's take a little bit more of a look at the other loco in this order, the Southern, originally London and South Western, T9 class Greyhound. I have to admit I bought this loco somewhat by mistake. I was looking at the list of available models that Colin Hurd at Union Mills sent me with my previous order. I had no doubt that I wanted to get the Prince of Wales class in LMS red, and I thought it would be nice to get another loco at the same time and combine shipping. I knew that I had seen a Southern T9 class on eBay, but I mistakenly thought that I'd bid on that but not got it. So I asked Colin to send me the T9 in southern olive green. As it turned out, I had in fact bought the eBay T9, which was in BR black livery, and arrived in somewhat problematic condition. See part 62 of this video series for details on how I fixed the running problems with that loco, and then redid it in Southern Railway's black livery. So now I have two T9s, one black and one green, and here are the two of them together. At this point, the black T9 is hooked up to a train of Daypole Maunsell coaches, see part 65 for a detailed review of those, and the green T9 has just been pulled round light engine on the parallel track. Behind in the siding is the Union Mills G2 Super D. Here's another view of the two T9s together. Someone had replaced the couplings on the black T9 with bits of bent wire. I've actually left those in place as they seem to couple quite well to standard rapido couplings. The Union Mills locos come with rapido couplings fitted, as is standard for British N-gauge. I'd love to have the green T9 in lined livery, but I doubt my painting skills would be up to making a good job of that. One thing I might do is add decals for a running number to the front buffer bar, as I've done on the black T9. After taking some pictures of the two T9s together, I switched over the train of Maunsell coaches to be drawn by the green T9, which is obviously a better match, though it would be an even better match if it were lined. As is standard with Union Mills models, both of these new locos are quite heavy, mainly made of metal and tender-driven, which is clearly not realistic, but does provide for more reliable traction in N-gauge. The loco wheels do turn quite freely, and aided by the weight of the locos, the models look quite realistic in operation. The T9 class were built by the LSWR for pulling fast passenger trains and earned the nickname Greyhound for their performance in those duties. They date from around the turn of the 19th to 20th centuries, their 440 wheel configuration being typical of early 20th century passenger express locos. I was particularly pleased to be able to get this Prince of Wales class loco from Union Mills, as the LMS is the company on which I focus more than any other, it being my family railway. The Prince of Wales class and the closely related Claughton class were essentially the main passenger express locos of the LNWR at the time of amalgamation. After amalgamation, in LMS service, they didn't fare so well, as they didn't fit in with the Midland philosophy of loco usage which prevailed in the early days of the LMS, and then in the 1930s they were largely displaced by the newer classes of larger locos developed under Stanier. Still, they played an important role in the LNWR and in the early days of the LMS, especially on the Western Main Line. Union Mills models, according to the information supplied with the models, are shipped out, tested and fully run in. Nevertheless, I like to give the locos a little bit of time running light engine before I hook them up to the train. Here's the Enchantress passing light engine behind Metcalfe terraced houses and a recently added Metcalfe corner pub. And after a bit of light engine running, here's the loco pulling a rake of early LMS corridor coaches, all fitted with card bellows corridor connectors. I've found that the cardboard bellows connectors work well with these older style LMS coaches, not so much unfortunately with current Farish Stanier coaches. But the earlier style coaches are definitely more appropriate with this loco, although some Prince of Wales class locos did remain in service until after the war. Here's that train pulled into Colville Station, which is the biggest station on my layout, but still barely big enough for a 5-coach train. Here's the train in Colville seen from the front. Most of the buildings are from Metcalfe card kits, P&D Marsh and Fleet Line white metal kits for the signals and the water tower, with a bit of kit bashing. In the foreground here is a Metcalfe corner shop, from the same kit as the corner pub. And here the Enchantress has been joined by the T9 with the Maunsell coaches. In the foreground is a Union Mills web goods engine with tank wagons in a siding. And a final view of the Enchantress together with the web goods and its tank wagons, and behind in the sidings the G2 Super D and a Union Mills Fowler 3F in red. So now let's see a little running video of these two new Union Mills locos.